hear the train horn outside. Train horn stalking me. Thought I heard a plane coming. But there's that guy in that last video. He was just sitting there. Like, I was at the intersection, just like standing there with my sign. My don't sink sign. And he was like sitting over like up the block, and he's like, "What's your sign say?" And then like I just wasn't answering him, and I just like show my sign to him, and he's like, "What's don't sink?" And he's like, "Bro, what's it say? Or what's it mean? Bro, what's it mean? Bro, what's your sign mean? Hey, what's your sign mean?" He just like keeps saying it. And then like I walked away, like I start walking away, and then he just starts following me up the street. And he like yells again, like right when I walk by the corner of the building. Like right as I'm walking away from the intersection, walk by the corner of the building, he's like, "Hey, what's your sign say?" And then he just keeps following me up the street. So then I pull my camera out and record him, and I'm like, "Stop following me, you're following me." And he's like, "I'm not following you." I'm like, "Yeah, you were sitting over there and you just started following me." And he's like, "No, I was just walking up the street the same way as you." He's just lying, saying that he wasn't following me, but he was following me. And then he stopped following me at the intersection. When I walk up to the intersection, he leaves, like turns left. And he had a red shirt on, and he was following me. And then he was like, "I'm being gang stalked too." Or he's like, "Are you being gang stalked?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Me too." And then there's this other guy that like came out of his business. Like I was standing at like, they have like this ledge thing by the business there. It's like on the sidewalk, and I like walk up on it, and I'm just standing there holding my sign for like 2 seconds. And then this guy came out of the business, and he's like, you better fucking back the fuck up or you're gonna get knocked out," or whatever. I think he had a red shirt on too. I don't remember. But he just like came out and was like threatening to beat my ass or whatever. And I'm like, "What for? What for?" And he just like keeps acting like he's gonna beat my ass, and then like walks in the door, but then like turns back around and like threatens me again. and then finally goes back in, and I'm like, "What for? What for? What for? What for?" And he won't say anything. But and then my grandma was taking me to give me a ride to get some job applications today. So then we went to lunch at this restaurant, and there was a baby crying synced in there, like the entire time we were in there, pretty much, or like not the entire time, but like the baby was still there when we left, and it was crying synced, like right after we sat down, and then it was just like doing it over and over while we were there the entire time. So that's always weird when there's a baby crying synced. And then we went to Big Red Kino, and like every time we go there, the Kino machine is turning on synced every time it turns on. Like the ball machine thing is like really loud, and it's always turning on synced every time they do it. And then people are walking around synced and touching their nose synced and coughing synced and whatever. Laughing synced. Like someone will walk in front of me as someone laughs at the same time and shit. Or a baby will cry synced. people are always just making up stories and shit, or like it seems it's like I don't know what's real and what's not anymore. Like I don't know, like when people tell me things, I don't know if they're just lying to my face, and a lot of times they are, and they're just saying scripted shit. So like people will be like, so and so went to the hospital or whatever, and it's like, did they really, or is this just a fake directed conversation to like, you know, like they always say things about like death and like dying, like my dog died, and they'll say it. You hear that? And they'll say it at a synced up moment. So like people will just be like just saying like somebody went to the hospital or somebody died or somebody got cancer or whatever, and like sometimes I don't know if they're like actually saying a real thing that happened. Like even if they're saying it synced, like maybe it actually happened but they're just saying it synced. I don't know. But like it's like people just be lying on my face, so I'm just saying fake shit all the time. So like I don't know what's real and what's not. And like it's weird. I hear like people yelling and engine sounds outside right now at the same time. And my neighbor's coughing and is probably saying, I don't know, probably. And then what else? What else? But there's just a bunch of, like when I walk around with my sign, there's just a bunch of people that are like, that are stalking me, and they're like, what's the sign? What's the sign mean? What's don't sink? What's that mean? What is it? What's it mean, bro? Like just a bunch of people keep doing that. Or they'll just drive by me and be like, what's that mean? And then there's those stalkers that pulled up yesterday, like I said on the last video, that were like, pulled up next to me in the parking lot, and they're like, what's don't sink? Are you being gang stalked? Hey bro, are you being gang stalked? What's don't sink mean? Like, how are you gonna say, are you being gang stalked, and then say, what's don't sink mean? Oh yeah. And then this one guy in my apartment building, like I said before, I've said this before, when I walk by his apartment, he'll always be playing, like, he'll be playing, like, a movie on his TV, and it's, like, full volume, it's, like, really loud, and, like, when I walk by his apartment, there'll be, like, a directed conversation thing, like the dialogue on the movie or whatever will be like a directed conversation thing. I forget what the other one, I've talked about it on videos in the past, so I forget like what those examples were of other things. But like yesterday I walked by his apartment and he's like watching some movie, and then right when I walk by the door, the girl on the video says something about police. I think she's like, open up the doors, the police, or like something like that. something about police. I forget. But it's like right when I walk by the door, they're saying police. And then another day, like right when I walk by the door, like a lot of times it's just quiet. And then right when I walk by the door, it's like he's pausing the movie and then playing it right when I walk by the door or something. So there's like no sounds coming out of his apartment, and then right when I walk by the door, it's like guns going off. That happened one time. I forget the other ones, but it's always happening. And then there's like this poster of like this comedian that's coming to town. Her name's Kat, K-A-T, like me. And my grandma points at it when we drive by it, and she's like, "Oh, she's coming to town?" And she's pointing synced. And she's like always pointing synced whenever I hang out with my grandma. She's always pointing synced and talking synced. And doing directed conversations.